We try our best to be detached observers, but Lord knows, sometimes it's not easy. Women in the audience will know exactly what I'm talking about when they hear the next two words: Roger Federer. Not only is he number one in the world, he's well on the way to becoming the greatest player of all time. And he's so beautiful to watch, in a purely tennis sense, of course. Those graceful, clean strokes, the power, the sheer mastery of his game. No wonder Lleyton Hewitt's so spooked. But on the eve of the US Open, what's he doing in the sweltering heat of the Middle East? Come along and find out. In the middle of an Arabian summer, Dubai is one of the hottest places on the planet. But it's here that the coolest man in world sport comes to train.
All right, let's do it.
You're gonna sweat. Not only me, also you guys, eh?
The heat would kill a brown dog. And that's just the way Roger Federer and his coach, Australian legend Tony Roach, like it. Oh. Together, they're preparing for the cauldron of the US Open at Flushing Meadows.
Come on, out in front. And penetration. Yeah, good. Beauty.
Just remind me again, Roger, why are we here in Dubai? What is the temperature?
Well, it's, 44 maybe? And about 60-70% humidity. No, I mean, it's more because, it's in the middle of Switzerland, Australia, a little bit closer to Switzerland.
Middle?
So,
I know about your geography.
Yeah, but it's a straight flight from where you are. So,
right.
yeah.
Now, the best thing I've found so far is I reckon you can lose a couple of kilos just by standing still. Is that right?
Yeah, look there.
Yeah.
Look at Tony's
That's me.
dripping.
And I'm just feeding the ball. Come on, let's move. Got to be quick at the net. Oh, that's good. You thought that was coming a million miles an hour.
With training partner Luke Bourgeois, another Aussie on the court, it's clear Federer likes the Antipodean connection.
When after you play that first volley, you should be getting to about here.
Is he the genius that you are quoted to have said he is?
Well, I think he's such an all-round player, which is a little unusual in today's tennis, and he sort of reminds me a lot of Rod Laver.
He's described you as a genius. It's good of him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's good, yeah. But he never tells it to my face, So
He tells everyone else,
yeah,
not you.
No,
Do those comparisons make you feel nervous, or?
they make me hot. I don't know why I get hot.
Do they?
It's something to be faced with compliments like this. It's not so the usual thing, and. I have a lot of respect for him, what he has achieved as a player, as a coach, and everything, and the way he is as a person. And to hear it, it's very nice.
Roger Federer may be the world's best player, but he knew Tony Roach could make him better.
No, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
It took Federer more than a year to win Roach over, pursuing him all the way to his home in Sydney.
Forehand volley from this side, deep in the corner.
I thought, gee,
backhand volley.
here's the number one player in the world, and he's willing to come out a week before Christmas, and he actually left on Christmas Day. He had Christmas on the flight coming back, and I thought, well, I've got to do something. I just can't say no.
Those volleys, you need to just pick them up a bit, Roger.
Yeah,
He's doing okay, isn't he? What can you do?
Oh, well, you can always get a little bit more penetration, a little bit more stick on the ball, and certainly work on his balance, because he's such a great athlete that when he comes into the net, the only way that somebody should be able to get a ball past him is if they can hit it on the line.
Look out. And on the full run, yep, we've suddenly changed gear.
His demolition of Andy Roddick in this year's Wimbledon final confirmed the mantle of greatness rests easily on Federer's shoulders.
Boy, he took that early, almost a half volley from the baseline.
It was his third straight Wimbledon finals victory, but it was much more than just a good old thrashing. It was a display of artistry that transcended mere sport.
That's probably as good a rally as Roddick can play.
As former champions Boris Becker, John McEnroe and John Newcombe looked on, Federer took the game to a new level.
It's almost disturbing how Roger hits these winners and just casually walks across the other side of the court.
At one stage, Roddick just looked over his coach's box and went, "What do I do?"
It's almost like you're out there with a fighter and you hit him with the best punch you've ever thrown, and the guy doesn't move, and then just bang, it knocks you out.
You run out of options because he's become such a complete player. So maybe I'll just punch him or something. I don't know.
Roger Federer's parents exposed him to tennis when he was a toddler, and it seems even then the boy and the racket were made for each other. He was also a gifted soccer player, but at 12 decided tennis was his destiny.
Yeah, I always liked the idea of being in control. Like in tennis, you win or lose, it's you to blame. In soccer, I always felt like, the goalkeeper made this mistake, why didn't you tackle that guy earlier? And I always would find these excuses, even though I really enjoy the team sport.
It was at about this time when a young Federer would meet another Australian coach, Peter Carter. The journeyman tennis player turned coach would have a huge and lasting impression on Roger's life.
I think he has had the most influence on my game as a coach, and of course next to my parents, maybe also as a person. We had great times together. It's very clear, and he really actually, I think, teach me the beautiful technique I play today.
But it was a fragile beauty. For all Federer's extraordinary talent and technique, the young Adonis had feet of clay and a very bad temper.
I was very up and down, I would say. I mean, when I would lose matches, I would cry very much, especially. I would throw my racket and scream around the tennis court. And then there was one stage, I think it was about 16, 17, I couldn't practice more than an hour or 1.5. And every time I would lose my mind, and they would send me off, or I would walk off automatically myself because I knew what's going to come.
If there was one thing above all else that forced Federer to get a grip and cool down, it was the tragic death of friend and mentor Peter Carter in a car crash in August 2002.
That was a big shock for me, and it came at a really also strange time. I was already not playing very well, and sort of it's hard to say, but it sort of was a wake-up call for me. That I think that Peter would like to see me do better and finally focus on the game. Maybe I took it that way, and it really helped me sort of.
Well, he's done it. Roger Federer. What an effort. Overcome by emotion, Newt. What a wonderful victory.
Yes, it just shows you he looks so calm, cool and collected out there. The emotions and the turmoil going on inside him. He's very emotional and uptight inside.
Those tears we saw at Wimbledon, were they in any way about Peter Carter as well? I mean,
maybe a little bit, but I think more the emotions and just the happiness, the disbelief, more of that. But then maybe also just a split second, obviously, also about Peter, knowing that he would be very proud.
I didn't even know you, and I was sobbing with you. I mean, that's
Yes.
the impact you had.
Yeah, it was very emotional. I
How do you look back on
almost
that?
felt bad after I cried so much, but yeah.
Federer became the first Swiss men's player to win a Grand Slam tournament and now has 5 to his credit. He is today's undisputed leader in world tennis.
Applause for your number 1 player, the Roger Federer.
Roger Federer's taken it to a new level at the moment in the game, and that's what drives you, that's what motivates you.
There could be no greater contrast in styles than that of Roger Federer and Australia's Lleyton Hewitt. One so measured and precise, the other all angst and aggression. They're friends off the court, but great rivals on it.
I was struggling in the beginning with his way of acting on the court. I was like, why is he doing this into my face? Is that not a little bit over the top and so on? And I felt like, he was almost attacking me personally, you know. But then I realized actually, well, he's just doing it to pump himself up, you know.
Do you find him rude?
No, I don't think so.
I'm told that psychologically he can't beat you. You've basically
well, I have an edge.
beaten him mentally.
Yeah, I have an edge over him at the moment. That's clear, you know.
Indeed, Federer has beaten Hewitt the last 8 times they've met.
In my opinion, Lleyton has to admit to himself that he's psyched out by Roger right now, game-wise. So he's got to overcome this attitude, and he's got to go out in the court and he's got to say, well, Roger, I don't care what I'm going to have to do. If I have to rip your throat out, I'm going to beat you.
It's not just Hewitt. Every player is out to get Roger. But that's easier said than done. This is a world champion who keeps things very simple.
Ja, super, oder? Hier Computer organisieren.
No hangers-on, no entourage. Just he and his girlfriend, Mirka Vavrinek.
I'm Liz.
Hello,
nice
Liz.
to meet
Very
you.
nice to meet you.
For the past 4 years, she has travelled with him around the world, cheering him on, managing his commitments, whilst electing to stay out of the limelight.
So it's just he and the girlfriend.
And Tony.
Lucky Tony.
Tennis, I think the tennis life can be sometimes a very lonely life also at times. You know, you're just there, and you know you're waiting for your matches, and there's a lot of waiting going on for us in the business. And you know, if Mirka's there, we're having a good time always together, and I never feel like I'm lonely. I never feel like the life is boring. You know, so for me this makes it much easier.
I imagine earlier in your career it was 3-star hotels.
Well, yeah, and in junior times, of course.
At 24, Roger Federer has all the trappings of success.
Yeah, everything's good, so...
Like Andre Agassi, his name has become a brand, earning him millions.
Amazing. They got a court upstairs. Want to hit?
Oh, yes.
But he knows it's all really just about a man, a racket, and a ball. And that the legacy he leaves tennis should be just as important as the next Grand Slam.
There's a lot of players out there that just want to take the money and don't really care where the game's going to be in 10, 15 years' time. Whereas I think Roger is very much aware of his responsibility to the game.
He seems to us to be an extremely nice guy. Is what you see what you get?
Yeah, very much so.
You should never forget that if you go, somebody else will take your spot, and tennis will live on, you know, but you won't. You're just there in the moment itself, you know. You can never be bigger than the game, and I think you always have to remember that.